Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Vortex rifle scope. This is the Vortex HS-T 6-24 by 50. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, it seems to me that Vortex really put a lot of value into the HS-T. If you were to go back just a couple weeks in my videos, you'll see that I recently reviewed the Vortex PST Gen 2, and that rifle scope is about double the price of this scope, but this scope still has a lot of the same features that that scope had, minus the illuminated reticle. So this one right here is a 30mm tube. It is Type 3 hard anodized coated. It is 6-24 power with a 50mm objective. Now, the great thing about a 30mm scope is, versus let's say like a 1-inch, is that you get more travel in your windage and elevation. It's a slightly larger tube and allows you better travel. So if you're going to be shooting a lot longer ranges, it's better to go with a 30mm tube. Type 3 hard anodized coating. It has 4 inches of eye relief, and I can tell you that is extremely handy. It's handy when you're shooting a lot of high caliber rounds, stuff that has kind of heavy recoil. It kind of keeps it away from your eye, especially if you're shooting prone and you kind of got to move the scope in the right area. I mean, I've seen plenty of people get scope bite from just, you know, you just got to get your face too close to it. So this having 4 inches of eye relief is really, really nice. It has parallax adjustments on the side that go all the way from 50 to infinity, and some really nice, I would say, semi-tactical turrets. These turrets are sort of tall. They're not really big, bulbous, and oversized, but they're tall enough where you can get a good grip on it. You can actually grab your hands, and there's some knurling around the top of the cap where you can grab and turn while you still see the hash marks, which is nice because there's a lot of companies out there that make scopes where you actually have to cover the hash marks with your hands in order to, you know, rotate it. So you can actually watch the hash marks, and this one actually has a fiber optic cap. It's a little fiber optic piece in the top of the cap here that will allow you to easily re-zero it, so you can actually follow it with the little fiber optic piece that is near the ocular lens here. So all you have to do is just turn that, match the fiber optic with the fiber optic here, and you know that you're back to the zero that you guys or that you set up. So I think it's got a lot of great features to it. It does have their proprietary coating on it, so it's got their Armor Tech coating on the glass. It is waterproof, shockproof, fog-proof. It's got some really nice glass in it, extremely clear. I don't see any distortion around the edges. There is nothing visibly wrong, to me at least, with the glass. And I've done a lot of reviews on scopes that cost anywhere from $1,500 down to $100, and I gotta say, for the price of this scope, I mean, you're just getting some really nice glass and some great features for the money. Now, I've had this set up on 2 different rifles, a 6.5 Creedmoor and a 2.24 Valkyrie. Both are long-range guns, and both are precision guns that I've been testing out for the past couple months now. And this scope does great on both of those. I have absolutely no problem with either cartridge setting it up with this scope. It's got a very nice, easy-to-read MOA reticle. As a matter of fact, you can get the mil reticle if you want to. It's 1/4 MOA clicks with a total of 65 MOA in travel. So you have plenty of travel. Now, if your gun has like a 20 MOA base on it, that's going to help you even extend to those longer ranges. But with the holdovers that you can use here, it's not going to be a problem if you're going to want to shoot out, you know, 1,000 yards plus. It does have a very nice, easy to see reticle. It is second focal plane. And again, for me, when I'm shooting long range, I prefer second focal plane because the size of the reticle doesn't change as you go through your magnification range. So if I go from 6 and I crank this thing all the way up to 24, the reticle is the same size, meaning that even though my magnification has brought the target into me, my reticle hasn't gotten any bigger where it might cover it up, because as you get to those extended ranges in a first focal plane scope, as that reticle enlarges, it typically covers up a little bit more of the target. Now, typically, if the manufacturer of the scope that I'm using also makes rings, I like to pair them together. So this is a Vortex Cantilever mount, 30mm scope. They pair together really nice. Now, one of the minor things about this that I really like, this is capless turrets. So these are not caps, these are the actual turrets themselves. But it has a very flat top turret. And the great thing about that is it made it very easy for me to level the scope. You guys know, once you put the scope base on there and you level out the rifle, then you put the scope in there, and then you got to level out the scope, and sometimes it can kind of get a little bit canted left and right, and it's much easier when you have a very flat top like this versus some other companies and some other scopes, even by Vortex, that have some texture or some type of roundness, shape, beveling, or something like that to the top cap or the top turret, where it makes it really hard to get your bubble level or something like that up there. Now, there's obviously different ways that you can level it out. There's things that you can attach and other things, but I use a standard bubble level when I level mine, and so having that flat turret up there just makes it really nice and easy to level this in order to get those good accurate shots, and you're not going to get that, you know, just slight cant left or right. So that's just kind of a small detail, but something that I thought was nice. Now, a couple other things I should mention is that this scope is about 15 inches long. You add that 4-inch sunshade, and I'm sure you guys can do the math. It's also just over 22 ounces. So if you're somebody who is a hunter, if you're a sport shooter, if you're somebody who's into the tactical aspects of things, then you might want to consider weight as a factor. So again, it's about 22.6 ounces and 15 inches long without the 4-inch sunshade. So those are some things to consider. Now, I had this on an AR-15 and an AR-10. It worked absolutely perfect for each one. However, on both rifles, each one had a 20-inch barrel, so they're a little bit longer than your standard 16-inch barreled, you know, AR, even an 18-inch. Either way, with a 15-inch handguard, this thing looked good. It worked nice. It really added some style to the rifle, and its capabilities are surprisingly good for its price point. Now, this is not a cheap scope. You know, it's definitely not one of those $100, $200, even $300 scopes. You know, you're looking just above $500 for something like this, and then you have to add the mount on it as well. But still, versus some of the other scopes in the market right now that offer a lot of the same technology, it's about half the price of those other scopes that I have reviewed. So this is definitely something of high value. If you want to get a good scope and you want something that is really going to work for you and you're going to like, you're going to use, then I would definitely go with this. Now, another great thing about Vortex is they have their unlimited, no questions asked lifetime warranty or guarantee. And that's one of the things I think that kind of drives a lot of people to Vortex. It's definitely kind of driven my decision in the past, is that when you buy a Vortex, you know you're going to have it forever, because even if you were to throw it on the ground and run it over with your truck, you send it into Vortex, they'll either fix it, or if they can't fix it, they'll send you a new one. And I think a lot of people really like that, because who knows, I mean, 20 years from now, if you have this on an old hunting rifle or something like that and it goes down, you can still send it to Vortex and you can either get it fixed or get a new one. So a lot of people really like the warranty, and I gotta say, I think that's a pretty good selling point as well. So definitely something worth checking out. Now, this one right here I got from Optics Planet. You can use the discount code TDS10 until September 2nd, 2018. That's a very short-lived promo, and after that you can use the discount code TDS5 and save yourself 5%. So I want to thank Optics Planet very much for sending this to the channel for review. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate the support. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.